Hello everyone. Today we are going to talk on characteristics of industrial strain. As we are going to talk about the fermentation, fermentation is carried out by microorganism and the selection of this microorganism is very important. But before we go for the selection of this organism, I am trying to tell you what are the ideal characteristics of organism. That is, on what basis we should select the organism. The very important is that the selected organism should give us the desirable product in large amount. Then only you will be economically on profit side. Okay, now what would be the source of this organism? From where we will get this type of organism? Obviously there are many sources, natural sources, but we will focus on the isolation of this organism from soil, and this organism is generally called as a producer. Now let's see one by one what are the ideal characteristics of organism to in order to select it as a producer strain. The very important is it should be non-pathogenic. The organism which we are going to select for the fermentation process, it should be non-pathogenic. Otherwise it would be very difficult for handling. Second criteria is it should be able to produce only one major product. What do I mean only one major product? There should not be byproducts. Like if we are interested in one particular enzyme, let's talk about example amylase. If we are if we want that the organism should produce only amylase, then there should not be other byproducts, other different enzymes like cellulase or protease this way. So otherwise what happens, uh, why we should search for the organism which is capable of producing only one major product? Because if it is capable of producing two or more than two products simultaneously, then there would be problem for recovery. What do I mean recovery? There would be problem for purification of product in which we are interested, and therefore the organism should be able to produce only one major products in which we are interested. Now let's go to third characteristics of organism. It should not produce the chemical which may interfere or alter the product. Now this is in continuation with the second. As I discussed, if the selected organism is capable of producing other byproducts, maybe other chemicals, and if this chemical interfere with the final products, or if this chemical act on our products, then there are chances that this product in which we are interested may change its chemical property, which is not at all desirable, and therefore the selected organism should not produce the chemical which will either interfere with the formation of product or which will act on our product and will alter the chemical property of our products. I hope you have understood the three characteristics. Number one, I'll just revise it. Number one, it should be non-pathogenic. Number two, it should be able to produce the only one major product, and it should not produce any chemical which will have the bad effects on the product in which we are interested. Now, let's see the fourth characteristics of organism. The selected organism should be able to work at ambient temperature. What do I mean ambient temperature? Means it should be able to work at normal room temperature. Means the fermentation should be carried out at normal temperature. There should not be requirement of very high temperature or very low temperature. Why? Why it should be able to work at ambient temperature? See, if there is a requirement of high temperature, then in that case we have to make a provision of increasing the temperature, maybe by electricity or by providing the hot water, or in other case if the requirement is for low temperature, we have to make the provision to decrease the temperature. Again, that will affect the overall cost of that setup. Okay, so in order to avoid it, it is the organism should be able to work at the room temperature. Next, and the very important is nutritional requirement should be cheap and not very expensive. See, the organisms which we are going to select as a producer strain in order to carry out the fermentation, the nutritional requirement of that organism should be very simple. Means the carbon source, nitrogen source, vitamins, other minerals, etc. It should be at it should be very simple. There should not be any fastidious requirement like the carbon source should be this specific only, nitrogen source should be inorganic, and this mineral should be present in the media, then only the product will be produced. So this kind of fastidious requirement should not be there. And whatever the carbon source, nitrogen source, or vitamins, minerals, etc., which we are going to provide to that organism, it should be very easily available, and I mean it should not be very expensive. And the very important is that the selected organism should be capable of producing high yield of products. If the product is produced by the organism in very large amount, then only we will be at profit side. Next, the recovery should be easy. Now, the product which is produced by the organism, that is sent in the market only after purification, and that is known as the recovery. And this recovery process itself is a complicated. It is a combination of 3-4 methods. Now, the methods which are used for the recovery, those methods should be easy, means the product should be easily purified. Next, maintenance and revival of strains should be easy. Many times it happens that because of our mistake, sometimes we forgot to retransfer it. Suppose if we keep that culture as it is for 6 months or maybe for 1 year, and after 1 year if we go and try to revive that culture, it should get revived very easily, and the maintenance of that culture should be easy, that you just keep on transferring the cultures and every after 1 month on a slant, and keep that slant in refrigerated. So every after 1 month you that organisms can be available, and that can be maintained in the simple way. Next, it should possess the minimum reaction time with the equipment used in the fermentation process. What do I mean minimum reaction time? In a very simple way, I can explain this like the time which is required for production of the product, the time which is required for the fermentation of the product, it should be as low as possible. Now, why this is so? What will happen if the production time is higher? In that case, there are many chances of contaminations by different sources. So in order to avoid it, the product should be produced, product should be fermented. We should get the product in a very short period of time. And the next one, it should possess the optimum growth rate so that it can be easily cultivated on a large scale. See, we are talking about the fermentation at industry level. It's not that the fermentation which we carry out in our department in a flask. So as we are talking about at the industry level, it means that the product which we expect, it is also in huge amount, and therefore the fermenters which are used, they are also huge. And with respect to that, the inoculum, I mean the biomass which is required in order to carry out the fermentation, that biomass is also required in large quantity. And therefore this such a huge biomass should be cultivated within a short period of time. And this is possible only when the selected organism possesses the optimum growth rate, means the growth rate should be higher. If the organism is very slow growing, if it requires too many days for its growth, then in that case it will be very difficult for us to collect the huge biomass for inoculation purpose. And therefore this is very important that while selecting the organism as a producer strain, so we should have a check on its growth rate. So thus we have discussed 10 different characteristics of organism in order to select it as a producer strain. Thank you.